Next one. Hi, Bradley. Thanks for the anchor text ratio competitor analysis template. What if the top 5 competitors have barely any links? How many links would you build and of what type? Or what if the top 5 competitors have no links at all, except one competitor, and they have many links skewing the data? Well, yeah, you just got to remember that. If you remember, you always got to look for outliers, Robert. And again, this is because you're talking about a link building text ratio, my link building workbook, which is available only to mastermind members. So this kind of a question should have probably been directed in the mastermind, because otherwise, like, I'm answering a question about something that Hump Day Hangout members or audience doesn't have access to unless they're in the mastermind, right? Anyway, you have to pay attention to the data and determine, you have to always keep that in mind. So remember, you're looking at, with the way that I analyze backlinks for my competitive link analysis in the link workbook, and the way that I teach in the mastermind is we always start at the URL level, right? Google doesn't rank websites, it ranks web pages. So we always start at but websites have a significant influence on a page's ability to rank. So we always have to start at the URL level and determine what the backlinks are. But you always have to zoom out and look at the entire backlink profile to the root domain in its entirety to determine what are you truly competing with. Because again, if you start to analyze backlink profile for local search queries and you see that a lot of those or several of the top ranked competitors have 0 or very few backlinks, I almost guarantee you that every time it's going to be an inner page URL that is ranking, not the homepage. And that's why it has very few or 0 backlinks, is because it's ranking on internal links, not external links. And so that's why you always start at the URL level first to determine what are the most competitive links. What do you have to meet and exceed in order to be competitive at the URL or page level first, right? But once you identify that, or in a very when a search query returns results for pages that are ranking that have very few or no external backlinks, then you can immediately zoom out to analyzing the root domains instead of the top ranked competitors, and then kind of determining what are those, what are you competing with at that level, right? Yeah, and you can just go through, just like I teach, and cherry pick out of their backlinks, apply all the filters that I teach about, right? So apply a maximum of at least, what the way that we do it is a maximum of 3 backlinks per referring domain. You can actually even go down to just 1 backlink per referring domain. You want to eliminate no follow links, and you want to only look at live links. Then you classify each one of the anchor, what's left, you classify each one of those links, the anchor text, into 1 of 5 categories: brand URL, miscellaneous, empty/frame, target, and topic. Those are the 5 different anchor text types. And that gives your anchor text ratios, right? And then we go through and analyze the backlink profile of each one of the top ranked competitors and apply those same filters. And then you can start to cherry pick. Remember, use the trust flow filter. I can't go through this live, guys, because this is mastermind stuff, but go through the Majestic trust flow filter, right? It's the far left filter when you're looking at the backlinks tab in Majestic, and then apply it. If you click that little drop down, you'll see it'll say trust flow 0. Most of the links from your competitors are going to be in the trust flow 0 category. Then it'll say trust flow 1 to 20, trust flow 21 to 40, 41 to 60, and etc. And then you can just go right into like the trust flow 1 to 20 and start looking at each individual backlink and determine, does it have topical relevance? If it doesn't have any topical relevance, then look and try to determine, does it have geographic relevance, local relevance? And if you can't determine that it has topical relevance or local relevance, then just ignore it, because Google is ignoring it too. You know what I mean? Like, essentially, the only way that the link is providing any kind of measurable value is if it has got some sort of relevance match, either topical or geographic or a combination of both. It has to have some level of sort of topical, a relevance match in order for it to be providing any value. So that's what I do, is we just go through and start looking at every single one of the different links and determine, and again, we start at the URL level, Robert, to get back to your question, but if you have very few backlinks because it's an inner page for the competitors that are ranking, it's likely ranking because of internal links. So zoom out and do the exact same process at the root domain level, right? So now you're looking at all the backlinks, but you can you can eliminate the vast majority of them very quickly by applying the filters I just described, and then looking at trust flow 1 to 20 only, 21 to 40, 41 to 60, etc., and just going through and analyzing those backlinks to determine, is there topical relevance? You can usually tell that very quickly because it tells you which the topical trust flow is of each one of those links. And if there's no topical relevance, then the next thing I look for is, do they have geographic relevance, location relevance? And if I can't determine it has either one of them, then I just ignore that link. And I only start to collect a list of links that I need to meet and exceed, of links that I can find that have a parent relevance match. That makes sense. Anyway, that was another good question, Robert. But yeah, some of these questions, man, just keep in mind, this is a public forum that you're asking questions on when you're talking about Hump Day Hangouts. So we have the private forum, which might be more appropriate for some of those.